Okay, we are back with you for the second hour. I forgot to say that was the end of the first hour, that last just before the news, but we're back for the second hour. And there is something else I need to say about the Affordable Care Act, okay? According to the Affordable Care Act, we are going to have a tremendous short, and this article was posted November 16th. We are going to have a tremendous shortage of medical staff coming up. And by 2015, which is down the corner, right down the corner for any projection, they predict, the American Medical College predict a shortage of about 63,000 physicians. And by 2025, I'm not that worried about 2025 right now. But
still alive.
But
Isn't there a song in the? Oh, that's 25. Okay.
Yeah, it's not 2025. It's quite a bit further down the road. But anyway, it would be nice though to be able to jump out there and see what the situation is. Aren't you curious?
Yeah.
Jump into the future.
I've seen so many different scenarios.
Those are stupid movies that have no connection with.
No. I mean, in just conspiracy videos on YouTube and things like that.
Yeah, it's stupid stuff. But I remember when I was
where it showed that man's in about 1,000 years, human facial features would be totally different. The lower part of the face would be sunken, the eyes and the brain area would be bigger, and looking like alien depictions, most alien depictions.
Roswell, okay. Listen, but by when I was in high school, I wanted to say, I thought that by the year 2000, we'd definitely be in space. And it never occurred to me that would be cyberspace. It is still space, but it's cyberspace.
Or on Mars, looking for that face and the pyramid, rather than out in the middle of nowhere and then taking pictures of rocks that somebody comes along and says, "Ooh, look, that's some kind of a Mars rodent," and you can't really tell. But I mean, the face in the pyramid, though, and then the way that they supposedly line up according to, I want to say it's like the belt of Orion, news and views beyond the mainstream. No, I mean really, there's something about the alignment of those pyramids or whatever they are on Mars. They claim. Well, that's a different conspiracy crowd altogether. But
okay. Anyway, so this medical conspiracy claimed that by 2025, there'll be 130,000 physicians. We will be 130,000 physicians short. And the problem that the Affordable Care is, get this, okay, is the fact that they would have to be able to deliver care, get this, to a larger and sicker population without spending more money. Now, why larger, sicker population? Why?
That's what we want.
Because that's what they wish to have. It's not a problem. That's what they wish to have. Because there is no reasonable explanation why should be a larger, sicker population. Why sicker? Should be doing better. But then, if we get into the position of criminalizing cures, actual, simple cures, then, of course, we do have a sicker population. Because that's been the goal all along. And now, how do you solve the problem? Oh, by changing how the workforce works. Basically taking away the control by their plan is each individual physician, they have to work together as a team with the nurses, the medical assistants and everything, they have to work together. So basically No more individual. No more individuality in healthcare. It's all run of the mill. We all do what we're supposed to and we're told to do. See? No maverick, no innovation, just more of the same. And that's the plan, to make it not more expensive and affordable, in their opinion. Okay. Anyway, so the whole thing needs to be trashed, because it is trash. Anytime they come up with all these new things and innovation, they have created a sick population simply because people believe in it. Maybe by 2025, people will have quit listening to physicians, paying attention to what they do, and gone off the right way.
Well, either that or the medical industry goes off on the right way.
Well, yeah, that what comes together. People go
if that
the
could
right
ever
way.
happen.
Well, if people are determined enough and strong enough, instead of being scared by nonsense, then it will happen. But people have to be in control of their own destiny, politically and health-wise. And they are not now.
We can't have that.
Okay?
It would be dangerous.
Yeah,
it would be dangerous to the old
system.
Network. Yeah, the old network.
Well, it'd be dangerous to the phrase, that's the way it is.
Uh-huh.
And you cannot change the way it is. And my father was an advocate of that nonsense. I always did fight with him about it. I started fighting with my father about the subject, believe it or not. I was 4 years old. And of course, you know, the phrase that I was just crazy came about then. Okay. All right. But we all need to be that way. Fight back what's wrong. Okay. Think about it. If people hadn't fought back against what was wrong, now, today, we will still have segregation. Now, there are some cases out there that think that's a good thing, but it isn't. Okay? So, and that has no reference to who is the president, because he's an idiot either way. Doesn't matter. The color of his skin doesn't matter. He's an idiot. End of the story. And he's a jerk, sold to the system.
He's a tool. He's being moved around the chessboard.
He's a patsy, but the color of his skin has nothing to do with it, because Bushy Boy was the same before him, just a different skin color. But that's about the only difference between the two.
Bush just had that little wink to let you know, yeah, that's right. I'm in with the big boys.
Right. I cannot speak English. You see, I have to take it back. The present president at least can speak English.
Which camera are we on? Is that recorder for Kate button on?
I know. Just unbelievable. I don't know where his English was coming from. And keep in mind that when Alzheimer idiot Reagan was in office, Bush Sr. was trying to get him a job into the in the Washington scene to get for his son. And even Alzheimer Reagan said that Bush was an idiot. Okay, all right. This is the fun and game area. Okay, now it's something that that's just a pretty recent article. What's the date? Yes, November 20th. So pretty recent. And yeah, on one side it might seem ridiculous, but in reality, it is tragic. It's awful. Now there is a new, and what it is there is a new, highly modern concept. Modern concept in oncologic immunotherapy. Immunotherapy used by oncologists. To me, oncologist is synonym a croaky idiot, but. And this highly modern concept seems to work. Seems to work. Okay, and what is it? It's for melanoma survival, to improve melanoma survival. And what they do they inject herpes virus into a malignant skin lesion to treat advanced melanoma. Okay, you tell me, when you hear this, what do you think? Herpes virus injected into the skin lesion to treat advanced melanoma.
Herpes virus?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Okay, and get this. This article says this procedure might sound a bit like medieval alchemy. Might sound, but they say it's not. It is highly modern. It's a highly modern concept. For whom? Where? It's uncivilized, barbaric method, just like chemo. And then what it is? Oh, and you know why they do that? Because the cancer tissue attracts the virus. Okay, I don't know if these people that make this statement, physicians that do the research and feed that to the public, think that people are stupid, or if they are so stupid and feel full of themselves that they can see through the cloud of the nonsense. This is a guy whose name, the author of this report, name is Howard Kaufman, MD. And get this, professor and director of surgical oncology at the Rush University Medical Center in Chicago. And I'm saying Rush University Medical Center in Chicago is the director of surgical oncology. I'm telling you this to stay away from it as much as possible. Please run the other way.
Huh.
I mean, come on. A virus have an attraction to cancer cell. They're attracted by cancer cell.
Well, and also there's that pervasive cancer virus. That they injected into monkeys or something.
Some people claim that there is no such a thing.
Or that
as
they
cancer.
got it. They got it. Yeah. They synthesized a cancer virus from some monkeys. Some monkeys were involved, I know.
Okay, and get this. This idiot says that a modified herpes simplex virus, type 1, has been engineered to selectively replicate in tumors and cause cancer cell destruction and death. Yeah, right.
And you end up with a cold sore the size of a boulder.
Okay, now, this oncologic, and it's called Coxsackie virus. Coxsackie virus. Best known for causing hand, foot, and mouth disease. That is being tested. Okay? And the results so far of the testing is, hear this, that the patient undergoing this type of treatment lived 4 months longer than the other one. Any comment? 4 months longer than control group.
Okay, say that again.
Yeah, it needs to be repeated to sink in.
Okay.
The treatment of advanced melanoma patient with this herpes virus resulted in the fact that the patient lived 4 months longer than the people in the control group.
4 months.
Yeah.
4 months.
And you think this is worthwhile to put in a report and to write a paper about 4 months? What the heck is that? They're not talking about curing the patient. Heavens, no. And then there is this comment, this strategy represents a new strategy, and it is excellent, and it's exciting. This is somebody that is an MD, director of dermatologic surgery at the Memorial Sloan Kettering Center in New Jersey. Okay, those are big name of hospitals. Sloan Kettering Center.
Oh, yeah.
I know the biggest one is in New York. This is New Jersey. But, I mean, come on, people, wake up. And this guy that did the work and wrote the report, Howard Kaufman, MD, professor and director of surgical oncology, is actually saying this with a straight face. Okay, so he's either a complete idiot that has no deductive reasoning ability, or he thinks that the public is made out of idiots. So I want to revive a habit of ours. So this guy, to me, it's either a complete idiot or he's a complete crook. Okay? So for that, we're going to give him 2 awards. One is not enough. One is, shut up your face.
What's the matter, you? Hey, got no respect. Hey, what do you think you do? Hey, why you look so sad? Hey, it's not so bad. Hey, it's a nicer place. Shut up your face. Okay, one time for mama, everybody. What's the matter, you? Hey, got no respect. Hey, what do you think you do? Hey, why you look so sad? Hey, it's not so bad. Hey, it's a nicer place. Shut up your face.
Shut up your face.
Yeah. And the other one is a hot cup of coffee, which is the very prestigious Medical Conspiracy Award. And I think this guy richly deserved it. How can you come up? Of course they have done it with HIV too. How can you come up with a solution to a type of cancer by giving them another disease? Oh, and get this. He also said that patient with stage 3 and 4 melanoma are in, of course, a clinical need of treating their disease, of course. And as long as the disease is not spread to other organs, then they can use the virus, the herpes virus. Okay? But of course, this will be definitely approved by FDA.
There's some money in it somewhere.
I don't know, but obviously. But it's something wacky coming out of the Middle Ages. Alchemy was the precursor of chemistry.
World saved by herpes.
Yes.
We thought it was a bad thing.
And we are going to give this doctor, of course, they're going to give him all sorts of awards. So we're going to give him 2 awards first. We are going to be the first to give him, we're just giving him 2 awards. Because one only is not enough. Okay.
I hope it was French roast.
No, that's another controversy, the coffee one. We'll get to it in a minute. I was planning to talk about it before I got into Brzezinski. Okay.
Brzezinski.
Yeah, we're going to get into Brzezinski in the last
I was going to say, it's not a good time to start anything new, really. We got
we got
a couple of minutes to go.
Okay, I want to finish this.
Well, maybe a minute, actually.
I want to finish this guy up with his the well-deserved awards that I gave him. Okay, now this is FDA is going to go for this because having something that works wonderfully on melanoma, and if you go to our Ignore website, Les Meding, there is one on melanoma, and you can see that was an very early stage melanoma, but disappeared in just a few days with our treatment. Okay, and I like to point out, look at the picture, is the arm of the patient. There is this spot that appeared overnight, 4 days before he came to me, and then just a few days later after the first treatment. I did a second just to make sure, but that was years ago.
Did you ever mention? Did you ever mention that patient with this, on his arm was actually a physician?
Right. That's what I was about to say. It was an MD. An MD. And he was working for me, and he had seen different results. So he came to me 4 days after that thing had showed up. He came to me, and I treated him, and it was gone. Think about what they would have done to him. But that is dangerous. You cannot do that. That's dangerous. The herpes virus is great because you live 4 months longer.
You had cancer. How did they cure it? Herpes.
Yeah, but see, they didn't say they cured anything. They said he lived longer. That doesn't mean they cured anything. That doesn't mean the melanoma went away. They just lived 4 months longer. What the heck is that?
So we got to go to a break.
Okay, all right. And then we'll come back with Brzezinski.
Free speech guaranteed. You're listening to the Orion Talk Radio Network.
At Orion Talk Radio, we're constantly working hard on your behalf. But the fight for freedom could not be fought without you. So we want to hear what you have to say at 888-272-4434.
Wow, I have never heard talk radio like this before.
Y'all got a really good thing going, and we really appreciate it. We're from Alabama, and thank y'all so very, very much. Thank you.
Hi, guys. Good job and all. My name's Wayne from Alberta, Canada. Good work, guys.
I agree with your defense of the First Amendment. Religions be suppressed, the right to assemble.
Hey, I think Orion Radio is spectacular and awesome.
Hey, I just wanted to call and tell you I'm a great supporter of your radio broadcast. Anyway, good to hear some refreshing information, very intelligent speech. Keep up the good work. Thank you.
At Orion Talk Radio, we're waiting for your call. 888-272-4434.
Okay, we are back for the final segment of the today's show, and as I said,
hopefully not literally
of this show. This episode of the show.
Never mind.
Yeah.
That was a doomsday joke.
Okay, doomsday. Okay, well, that is the today's show. I think I even said today's show, didn't I? Not this show. I said today's show.
Maybe you did.
I thought I did. But anyway, whatever. And I read an article about false hope. And as you see, that is just a word that catches my attention because of what Randy reminded me of. Go ahead.
Oh, well, yeah, the first major media attack on you that happened in Oklahoma when KOTV News on 6 cameras showed up outside your office when it was in Broken Arrow, and apparently nobody came in, knocked or anything, but they just stood out there taking video pictures of the office.
Sunrise.
And Wendy's truck with the Lazymed stickers and magnet on the side and everything.
That is an incriminating evidence.
Yeah. And but anyway, the write up in the live segment that night on the news, they had a graphic behind her with your picture and the word "false hope" in big white letters underneath it, and Lori Fulbright wearing a white coat to look more authoritative,
Well, if that is misleading, they say you can't wear a white coat because it's misleading. Okay, start with the news people, banning them from using a white coat. Because I was using a white coat to protect my clothes from the stain that invariably spewed out of the tumor on the last session when everything was dead. Anyway, but that's another totally different story. But when I read the word false hope, And what it is they're talking about in this article about Stanislaw Brzezinski. And, of course, the guy that said, when I hear things mispronounced, I stop listening. Remember that on YouTube?
Well, oh, yeah, I do.
I guess I misread the word anti-neoplastons. That's just a made-up name by somebody trying to get attention. And somebody is attacking him by saying that he's selling false hope. And as much as I hate that word, it's true. Because what Brzezinski has does not work. There is no reason on earth, if you look at the theory, because that's what I do, look at the theory. If you look at the theory, there is no reason on earth why it should work. Just like chemo. Because let's be serious here and honest. Chemo, the oncologist that sells you chemo is also selling you a false hope. Just like Brzezinski is selling a false hope. They both are. Because you cannot inject or make the patient swallow some chemical that will only affect the cancer. Not on your life body, because the cancer is the same DNA you are. So it cannot affect. The immune system cannot attack the cancer, and whatever you intake affects everything, not just the cancer. It's not possible. Science, technology, theory behind all of that. That is not possible. To be successful, you have to make the cancer different from healthy tissue. And the very easy thing to do is rely on the heat concept and make the cancer of a different color that will absorb a certain wavelength of light that is not absorbed by normal tissue. Simplest thing in the world, logical, scientific, mathematically proven, cannot be denied. And that is what was attacked, giving false hope. I guess all those patients that are out there happy, back to their normal life, doing whatever they were doing before they were diagnosed with cancer, without missing any parts of their body, and not having had any interference in their work routine or retirement routine or whatever. I guess those are false hope. But in Brzezinski's case, I've heard it from enough patients that went there and paid an enormous amount of money. And this article discusses, and it says can mount up. Actually, in many cases it does. It's not that just occasionally can. And it can be, and it gets to $250,000, at least. Depends how long the person lives and has to take supplements. Okay? So, he provides them with something, and I have heard it from not just one, not just the Australian lady, I have heard it from others. They go there, he gives them these antineoplastons. I guess I misread that. I mispronounced that, I don't know. Anyway, it gives them this that are basically an extract of urine. And which makes it really dangerous. And people at the end of the course of treatment have a meeting with Brzezinski and his staff, and the conclusion is that what they did not work. So they have to give him chemo. And that's what they do. They first sell him the antineoplastons, and then they go back into normal chemo. And I said to all the patients, don't do that, because the chemo is proven not to work and kill you. So, but this particular Australian lady thought that was okay. She went for my treatment, I killed her, but she was worried about not returning, which it doesn't once you kill in place without surgery. Because if you have surgery when it's alive, the tumor is alive, it will spread. You can have removed the tumor after the laser treatment that FDA is banned as false hope. You can have surgery and remove the dead tissue, but doctors will refuse to do it. They don't want to prove that it worked. Anyway, so what happened? She went ahead and kept these drugs that were supposed to keep the cancer from returning. The cancer will not return after our treatment, as I said, unless they keep taking whatever was the cause of the cancer, or unless they had surgery before, which spreads the cancer. So she finally realized that what she was taking was causing the side effects I warned her about, so she quit taking them. She quit taking the supplements, not the supplements, just the drugs they were giving her to keep the cancer away. She quit taking them, and then she resolved all the side effects problem. And the doctor told her that they didn't see any reason why she should be alive, because she should be dead.
Well, we're going to make sure that happens.
Right. Well, they do that only if somebody listens to them, and then they make sure they die. So see, what they did not work. In reality, it did. It's the chemo that does not work, and it kills people. So that's the story there. Brzezinski is in the same group. That's why he's so wealthy. He gives them his alternative whatever, very expensive, something that he concocted, and it does not work. And people he puts them into chemo. And of course, chemo does what it always does. No difference. Anyway, the other very serious thing is that people believe that what Brzezinski does works. A lot of people believe that. They haven't gone to Brzezinski, they haven't done anything, but they hear about him, and they can't afford to go see him, but they think it works. So what do? They go and drink urine, thinking that will kill the cancer. I mean, just unbelievable. Okay? Ayurvedic. But the bottom line here is that the Texas Medical Board supposedly is after Brzezinski again because of complaint of patients that, of course, were not cured, because they're not, as him selling false hope. So he has to appear to a hearing in early 2014 and next year to investigate the situation. Now, what I don't understand, and there must be something behind all of this, he has made a fortune, multi-million. Why doesn't he go to the Bahamas? They cannot bother him. Only wealthy people can afford to go to the Bahamas, but only wealthy people can afford to see him. So they all can go in the Bahamas. Why doesn't he go there? You know, when that jerk said to me, though, what would you say if I told you that you made millions with this? My first thought was, well, your math is pretty bad. But, you know, if I had made millions, yeah, right, I would have not put up with the attacks of FDA or whatever other stupid greenhorn lawyer or whatever was doing, or assistant FDA agent. I would have gone to the Bahamas, and that would have been the end of it. If I had made millions, which I didn't. I've been struggling all along. I couldn't afford to go to the Bahamas. And the patients that were coming to me were average American. That's what I targeted all the time. Because wealthy can do something, but the average American with average income cannot go anywhere. And that's what I was doing. That's a false hope side, right? That's why they're doing well. But I don't understand the Brzezinski thing, because every so often they start again with supposedly investigating him. And my question to you is, if that were true, okay, why would he stay? Why would he remain in Houston? He has a name, and people will go wherever he is. And he could go where they cannot touch him. So my opinion is there is something...
apparently they haven't touched him. He's still in operation.
Right. They keep claiming and this and that, and supposedly attacking him, but he's been operating. Well, the thing is that he has a whole staff of doctors working for him.
Yeah, farmer reps, doctors, everything.
Farmer reps. Farmer insurance?
No, farmer reps.
Oh, farmer, yeah.
Yeah, big farmer.
But when he has the meeting after the course of his new anti-neoplaston, he's there with all his doctors, and he talks to the patient and basically talks him into chemo. And talks him into going for chemo, because that will save their lives. So this going after him and supposedly harass him and supposedly bringing him for questioning and having investigation, that seemed to be a farce. Why? Why are they doing it? So people won't forget and go to him. He's being targeted, so that means he's on the level, so we are going to go and see him. And maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Oh. Yeah. Because nothing of this makes any sense. He could have gone to the Bahamas and make plenty of money and not be bothered at all. So
he's just like you. He got accused of selling false hope, and he's making millions, and you're... Oh, no. That's right, you're not.
And they stole everything I had. They didn't steal everything he has, other than the lawyers, of course. But I don't know. None of what is happening in the Brzezinski case makes any sense to me. It doesn't. Something is not quite right. And to me, he's being investigated. It's more a publicity stunt for him than anything. That's my view. Because I don't see the results. And there cannot be any results. There cannot be anything effective in his approach. Can't be. And of course, all the alternative, most anyway, of the alternative practitioner attacked me and said, remember last year? She thinks that everything out there is bad, only what she does works. It's not that I think that, it's science that says that, not me. I repeat it, it's science, I give you the evidence. It is science that tells you that. And people at a minimum of understanding of science will realize what I'm saying. Anyway, and in fact, honestly, the best patient I've had were people with a good education. Whether it was in the medical field or in engineering. Those are the best patients I've had. And they have a few that were not, and they're still good patients, but I'm just saying. Understanding the science behind what I say is the key. Anyway, so the Brzezinski case still remains a puzzle, unless he's another, controlled opposition. That would be the perfect thing, wouldn't it? Pretending to harass him. Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yes. I understand.
Full-length movie made about the guy.
Oh yeah, he paid for it. He put out a lot of money in lawyers, but I still think he's a controlled opposition because it serves certain purposes. So, and keep in mind one thing. As long as there are alternative practitioners that do something that in the end does not work anyway, that is not a threat. That is not a threat to Big Pharma. That is not a threat to the oncologists. That is not a threat to the system. It is not a threat. However, something that actually works, not sometimes, not on some patients, but on all of them, the difference of the success story from the other ones is the method we used did not work on everybody's brain. I worked on the cancer, not the brain of the patient. And a lot of patients did not understand what was done and made stupid choices. And that's how they ended up in a mess or dead. because they did not believe that what we did worked, and they went for standard treatment, and they died, not of cancer because the cancer was dead already. They died of standard treatment, like they all do. People do not get a chance to die of cancer today. They die of treatment way before they would have died of cancer. So, anyway. But that type of situation will really be a problem for big pharma and the oncologists and the alternative practitioners. That's why they all joined forces to squash what we were doing. That is why. Sad, but true. Okay. I understand that you had something you were interested to discuss that has really nothing to do with medicine, but...
Well, no, it doesn't. But it does have to do with physics, and it's that the comet that we keep hearing about. I mean, I guess we always did hear about them when they came around, but a lot of people are saying that something, it's a sundiver comet. It's what they do is they slingshot around the sun, and it's on the way behind the sun right now. They say November 28th is a big date, but just yesterday, I think, or day before, I read that a piece of the core had broken off and it was starting to fragment. I mean, I've probably read seen at least 50 different YouTube videos, and some of them are pretty out there. Biblical, angle, apocalyptic angle. It's actually a UFO traveling in the tail of the comet. Theories, a lot of different things being said about it. And I was just kind of curious, I was hoping that you had kind of read maybe a little about it and had an opinion.
I didn't read it, but from what you tell me, I'm really suspicious about the whole thing.
I mean, it could they say it could disintegrate on the other side of the sun, but on Thanksgiving Day, apparently it reaches, I think, perihelion. I'm not really sure, but it's some big event is
closest
on the 28th.
To the sun. Yeah.
Yeah, and it could either disintegrate or it could gain momentum.
Okay,
and just
that's what really bothers me. Okay?
And there's another theory that we, Earth, on our orbit, are going to pass through the tail. Like right after the comet goes by outward on its path, Earth is going to pass through its tail. And we're going to get debris and, all that good stuff.
Okay, that's really what bothers me. Different possibility. There is no such a thing as science. This is not medicine. This is not anything empirical. This is science. So if people handling it were real scientists, they would know what happened. They can do the calculation and determine the actual events. It's not, this could happen or that could happen. No, that is not an alternative.
And we got about
science.
15 seconds, too. I'm sorry.
Okay. That is not an alternative in science. That is not an alternative in physics. Physics is an exact science. And if the people handling were not experimentalists and were actually theoretical physicists, they wouldn't know what to do, and they wouldn't could and would give you the right answer of what will happen. That's the way science works. Okay. But unfortunately, they are not.
Now we're out of time, literally.
Okay. So
hopefully, Orion Talk Radio will still be around this time next week. Knock on wood.
What is this? Another Armageddon thing? Another end of the? Oh, please! No. And they will know if they were actual physicists. They will know. So as we close, I like to wish everybody a great Thanksgiving, and by everybody means good people. All the good people out there deserve a great Thanksgiving.